Let me ask you something. Have you ever worked so hard for something, poured your time, your heart, and every bit of energy into it, only to watch it crumble right before your eyes? That gut wrenching feeling when everything you planned just doesn't work out. Maybe it was a goal, maybe a relationship, maybe a dream you had high hopes for. Whatever it was, it left you wondering, why does this keep happening to me? And maybe I'm just not good enough. Yeah, I've been there too. You see, failure has this strange power. It breaks you, but it also builds you. And for the longest time, I thought failure meant I was done, that maybe I just wasn't cut out for success. But here's what I discovered: failure isn't the end of your story, it's the part that makes your comeback powerful. And in this video, I want to share with you the real lessons I learned from failing over and over again and how each one helped me rise stronger and more grounded. Because trust me, when you learn how to bounce back, failure stops being something you fear and becomes something that fuels you. Now let's go back a bit. There was a time I thought I had everything figured out. I had this project, something I truly believed in. I was confident, motivated, and certain it would work. And then it didn't. No matter how much effort I put in, things fell apart, people I trusted didn't come through, and my plan failed. I remember sitting there, staring at my screen, feeling that heavy silence like I had just wasted months of my life. My first instinct: blame everything and everyone else. The timing wasn't right, the resources weren't enough, and maybe I was unlucky. But deep down, I knew the truth. I didn't plan deeply enough, I didn't adapt when things went wrong, and I gave up the moment it got uncomfortable. That failure humbled me. It stripped away my ego, my excuses, and made me look forward. It wasn't easy, but now looking back, that moment was a turning point because that failure taught me things that no success ever could. And the first lesson I learned was simple but life changing. Failure isn't final, it's feedback. When you fail, life isn't telling you to stop, it's whispering, try again, but differently this time. Think about it. If you touched a hot stove and burned your hand, that pain teaches you something. It's feedback. You learn not to touch it again. Failure does this same thing. It shows you what doesn't work so you can figure out what does. Every no, every not yet, every disappointment, it's all guiding you closer to where you need to be. It's like GPS recalculating a route. You might take a wrong turn, but you're still moving toward your destination if you don't quit. And when I started seeing failure as feedback, everything changed. I stopped asking, why is this happening to me? And started asking, what is this trying to teach me? And that shift from frustration to curiosity turned failure into a teacher instead of a threat. Second lesson hit me even deeper. You are not your failure. For the longest time, I took every failure personally. If something didn't work, I saw it as a proof that I wasn't enough. I thought, I failed, so I must be a failure. But that's a lie we tell ourselves. Failing at something doesn't define who you are, it just defines what didn't work. When a baby falls while learning to walk, no one says, oh, they're just not a walker. They cheer them on because failing is part of the process. So why don't we give ourselves that same grace? The truth is, the most successful people in the world have failed more than anyone else. The difference is they didn't attach their worth to the outcome. They saw failure as data, not identity. So the next time you mess up or something doesn't go your way, remind yourself, this isn't who I am, this is just what happened, and what happened can change. The third lesson: failure builds resilience, and resilience builds strength. Each time you fall and get back up, you're training something far more valuable than skill. You're training your character. Think about it. Every setback you faced taught you how to endure, how to adapt, and how to trust yourself again. That's resilience, and the more you develop it, the less fragile you become. Stop fearing challenges because you know you can handle them. There's a quote I love that says, rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. That couldn't be more true. When you've been through failure and bounced back, you realize you've survived wars before. And that realization makes you unshakable. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Sometimes failure just means your definition of success needs an update. I used to think success meant achieving everything I planned perfectly, on time, and exactly how I pictured it. But life taught me something different. Real success isn't about the outcome, it's about the person you become in the process. It's about learning discipline, patience, humility, and gratitude, even when things go wrong. Because what's the point of achieving something if you lose yourself in the process? Now, I define success differently. Success is showing up even on hard days, it's choosing growth over comfort. It's failing, learning, and trying again with a better attitude than before. And when you start seeing it that way, you realize you've already succeeded more than you think. The next lesson changed how I take action. Fail fast, learn faster. You see, most of us waste so much time waiting for the perfect moment. We overthink, overplan, and end up doing nothing. But an action is the real failure. Every time I hesitated, I learned nothing. Every time I took action, even if I failed, I gained experience. So instead of trying to avoid failure, I started embracing it. Try, fail, adjust, repeat. It's not glamorous, but that's how growth works. The faster you're willing to fail, the faster you'll find what works. Remember, progress loves momentum, not perfection. Now, here's something people rarely talk about. Failure reveals who you really are. It strips away the noise, the fake confidence, the ego, the external validation, and leaves you face to face with your real self. When I failed, I saw my habits clearly. I saw how often I procrastinated, how easily I gave up when things weren't easy, how much I cared about others' opinions. Failure became a mirror. It showed me the parts of myself that needed healing, not hiding. So I started journaling after every setback, not to complain, but to reflect. And slowly I became more self aware, more intentional, more grounded. Because awareness is the first step toward change, and failure, if you let it, is the greatest mirror you'll ever have. And if you're going through failure right now, please hear me out. You're not broken, you're being rebuilt. Every great story has a moment of struggle before the triumph. And this right here might just be yours. Don't let one chapter convince you the book is over. You've still got pages left to write. So don't give up, learn from it, grow from it, and remember the comeback is always stronger than the setback. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this reminder today. And before you go, tell me in the comments what's one lesson failure has taught you. Because remember, you don't have to be perfect to keep going, you just have to keep getting back up. Thank you so much for watching and see you on the next one.